Okay. It is now right around 2:30 p.m. on Tuesday, May 28th, 2024. I keep making videos about stuff that happens in spite of the fact that I really just want to be left alone. I want to lead a quiet, normal life without having to deal with psycho thugs making violent slamming noises below my toilet when I try to use it, or slamming things behind my kitchen sink when I wash my hands after using the bathroom, etc., etc. And the craziness finds me, right? It finds me. I mean, I'm just sitting here trying to have lunch right now after having spent the morning and early afternoon making a bunch of phone calls, sending a bunch of emails, checking my finances, making, financial inquiries on my accounts and stuff like that. So right now, hold on. Let's see what time it is. And, quietly listening to some jazz to relax while I'm having my lunch. Well, can't do that because this loaf of bread that I just pulled out from a bag that I had under my bed to keep it safe, and I actually taped it all up to keep it safe, I just discovered a giant hole in the back of it. Do you see that right there? This hole right here. That's a mouse. How do they gnaw through like all this plastic? It's like beyond me. Do you see that hole right there? I mean, this light is really bad. Hold on a second. I'm going to try to get a better light. There's a hole in my bread, and it's a perfectly circular hole. That means that something was gnawing through the plastic. I literally taped up this entire loaf of bread and put it under my bed in a plastic bag. So I didn't put it under my bed like this. I put it under my bed in a plastic bag to keep it safe from not just human vandalizers, but rodent vandalizers. And now there's a hole in it, and I can stick my finger, and something was gnawing at the bread. Do you see that right there? I'm going to save this bread because I can't make a hole like that. Are you kidding? I'd have to have like pointy razor sharp fingers to do that. I don't even have nails on my hands. All right, this light is terrible. I need to get a better view of this. Maybe, yeah. So do you see that hole right there? So first of all, I have short nails. I've always had short nails. My nails can't dig a hole through heavy packing tape that I use to tape up this loaf of bread with, and into the bread in a perfectly conical shape. That means that a rodent's pointy little snout was digging into this bread. And they have sharp teeth. They can gnaw through wood. So the fact that a evident rodent was chewing through the heavy packing tape that I wrapped this piece of bread out with, that's not a surprise. That's what rodents do. Oh, okay. Now, so the psycho hacker is hacking into my phone and has completely messed up the white balance, so I can't. Yeah. That's how you know your phone's been hacked. Now the white balance is completely thrown off by somebody who's tampering with the settings on this camera while I'm trying to make a video about rodents in this unit. Huh. Rodents in this unit look bad for the Greenville group because it indicates negligence on the part of the landlord. And while I'm trying to document the fact that there's a giant rodent snout sized hole in this piece of bread right here that I taped up with packing tape and kept under my bed in a plastic bag for the last week, now the camera's not working. It's been remotely disabled, so I can't document the fact that there's a giant rodent-sized hole in my piece of bread, except that the hole is right here. So the hole is so big that even with the white balance completely messed up by somebody who's deliberately tampering with this camera, you can still see this giant hole right here in the bread. So you know what? Whoever's trying to mess with the camera, I'm still able to document what I'm trying to document, which is a giant hole in this otherwise completely taped up piece of bread that I kept in a plastic bag under my bed for the past week. This hole right here is gnawed through. So there's a perfectly circular gnawing through of the plastic and the plastic tape. And there's a hole in the bread that is the size of the snout of a mouse. Wow. And as you can see, I don't even have long nails. My nails would never be able to do that. And I don't see how anything could possibly make such a perfectly circular hole no tool can do that. I mean, what, a screwdriver? I don't think so. No, this is like a rodent that was literally gnawing a hole in this bread as it was under my bed in a plastic bag. Wow. Yeah, well, I'm going to bring it down to management anyway and show them the evidence. I mean, I'm just going to hang on to this bread. I'm not going to eat it, even though I'm hungry. I was sitting down to a nice bowl of frittata, basically, and the bread would have been really nice. This is French bread. This is really nice French bread, which is why I had completely taped it up and put it in a plastic bag under my bed so it wouldn't get vandalized while I was out over the last week or so. Unfortunately, I've had to report multiple vandalizations of the food in my fridge over the last few years while I've been out, either at work or running errands. The psycho in 78 physically let herself into this unit multiple times in 2017, like while I was down the hall for like 1 minute, and contaminated food that I had left on my counter. This has been going on again for almost 10 years, so it's the same person. But this is not the psychopath. This is a mouse. Do you see that right there? That's a mouse. No other implement or tool or thing could make such a perfectly circular hole in a taped up, wrapped up piece of French bread that's been under my bed for a week now. I thought it was safe. Obviously, it's not. Okay, so yeah, somebody is messing with this camera, guys, because as I keep saying, the psychopath and cybercriminal Jasmine Irizarry is working for the Greenville Group. So whenever I document anything that could be detrimental to them and then try to post it in a video, obviously the camera on my phone gets remotely disabled, so it doesn't function properly and I can't document what I'm trying to document, or the video won't upload, or my Wi-Fi suddenly cuts out, or the phone like suddenly just won't work. It just freezes for no reason. But again, you see this hole right here in this piece of bread, and you know, I'm going to save this piece of bread. So whatever this nut job is trying to do to my phone right now to prevent the camera from working, well, I can just take more pictures later, because I'm not opening this piece of bread. This is evidence. Okay, so you can't see anything because somebody just remotely disabled the white balance on this camera. But this is another bag of bread that I've actually kept in my fridge also over the last like 7 to 10 days. And this bread is fine. There's no holes in the plastic. There's no holes in the bread because I've been keeping it in the fridge, not under my bed. But as I've reported in dozens of prior videos, the mice are under my bed. I mean, I have like 20 something videos that I made over the last few months of mice under my bed. And that's where I kept this piece of bread that I just noticed a hole in spite of the fact that I taped it up with heavy duty packing tape when I put it under my bed about a week ago. And it was actually wrapped in a plastic. So this bread that was under my bed has a hole in it right here, as you can see. There's something that gnawed a perfectly round hole through the packing tape, through the plastic wrap of this bread, and into the bread itself. So there's like a perfectly round cone-shaped hole now in this bread that I certainly didn't make. I don't have nails that are sharp. I don't even have nails, right? See, I don't have nails, if you can see anything with this remotely disabled camera that Jasmine Irizarry is hacking into right now, because she's also using her remote tasering device to zap me while I'm making this video. So she's deliberately trying to engage in attention-seeking behavior to let me know she has knowledge of what I'm doing right now. Anyway, this hole right here shouldn't be there. And it was made by a rodent. There's nothing else under my bed that could have dug through the plastic shopping bag that I wrapped this up in, that could have literally chewed through the packing tape, the heavy-duty packing tape that I used to wrap around this piece of bread, and through the original packaging into the bread itself to make like this perfectly round hole. That's a mouse. I've also had mice in here for years, and I know what they look like, what the holes in the bread look like when a mouse has been chewing into it. And it's amazing. They make these perfectly round holes in the bread because they literally chew into the bread with their little snouts. And it's always like a perfectly round hole. It's interesting. So again, I mean, somebody is obviously messing with the camera on this phone because now everything is all white. But this bag of bread that I've had in my fridge, oh my God, you can't even see the bag, that I've had in my fridge for about 2 weeks now, The bread is perfectly fine. There aren't any holes in it. There aren't any holes in the plastic because I keep it in my fridge, and I usually tape up my fridge when I leave so nothing can get in there. But things that I've kept under my bed thinking they were safe under there have been gnawed through by mice. Yeah, so the stupid psycho who keeps hacking into my phone is dumb because I'm just going to reboot it and make sure that it works fine. I'm going to make another video using the same exact stuff that I'm holding up right now. What a moron. What a pathetic, desperate, miserable moron, right? This camera was working just fine when I started making this video 7 minutes ago or so, and now it is so off balance that all you see is white. You can't even see the bag that I'm holding up right here because it's being remotely disabled by the same psycho hacker named Jasmine Irizarry, who's been hacking into all of my devices and doing this exact thing that you're seeing right now since 2013. It's always about when I report stuff regarding the Greenville Group's negligence. She remotely disabled my devices multiple times when I was reporting her nefarious activities, either to management or to law enforcement or to the courts. And she's also now remotely disabling this phone when I'm trying to make a video about how there's mice under my bed and bread that I've left in the fridge is perfectly fine, but bread that I've left under my bed has been chewed through visibly by a rodent because only a rodent can make these tiny, perfectly round holes in the wrapping and in the bread that I've left under my bed. I'm just going to make another video. So this stupid psycho hacker is just wasting their time, wasting a lot of resources, focus, energy, wasted life, remotely disabling the camera on this phone. I'll just make another video. I'll use my other phone and I'll make another video and I will effectively document what I'm trying to document right now.